Hey guys, Cold here. Welcome back to another video. We just finished the faction games with Safira, and Senda. That was kind of cool. We finished the dragon fight over there. So I'll do a follow-up video tomorrow on that. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. But today I'll be reacting to something that other creators have reacted, and it's one of the YouTubers in the community, one of the most well-known in terms of pushing for PvP endgame, and that is Mac-chan. So Mac-chan has quit the game, and already some of the other content creators reacted. So what I'll do here today is reacting my own thoughts and opinions on it, because this game is a big part of my life the last following years, being a full-time creator, and also just playing the game, seeing how the community reacts to it, following up with everything, trying to make guides and all that. I don't do react videos that often, but when it's time to do them, I think this one seems to suit the way. I'll also try to add a little bit of humor here and there, since I'll be reacting not to directly Mac-chan's video, but to the video that Ash has reacted to, which Scratch has reacted to. So I'll be reacting to that instead. So let's get started.
Valuable lessons, a couple of things from Mac-chan, and
so I've skipped a little bit just because the first 2.5 minutes was the intro by Scratch. So let's see where this is going.
I'm gonna give you guys a couple of different things that, again, I think they're valuable lessons, because I feel like people will end up in doing the exact same mistake over and over again if they don't really get to hear the truth about it. You know, I'm not saying that nobody else knows this. It's just I wanna stress these specific points, you know. And
yeah,
usually I don't do this sort of videos, guys. You know me, I'm straight off with guides, gaming. I'm staying away from drama. Even if other creators are trying to drag me into their drama, I'm still staying away from it, you know. So I don't usually do this sort of videos, but if you enjoy them, let me know in the comments down below. But let's crack on it and see what Mac-chan has to say.
I want to talk about why I decided to take a break from the game. I'm just gonna give you my very honest opinion. The biggest reason is I kind of don't want to spend anymore. Just to be honest, right? As you guys probably know, if you watch my old content, I was a huge spender. I was a huge spender, and I think
like
the
34 million
maximum
power
I have spent in a month was like $2,000. That was crazy. It's not like
So you heard him. He was a big spender. The maximum he spent was around $2,000 in a month. Now,
probably
yes, he was a big
stuff.
spender. One of the biggest spenders on YouTube that we know anyway. He used to be, at least before. He used to be at the top of Platinum Arena 2-3 years ago. And you know what? 2 years ago, the game was different. 2 years ago, a lot of people were able to challenge the whales and krakens and beat them without a problem and feel like it's not a big disadvantage. You know why? Because we didn't have so many power creep mechanics. Right now we have a
yeah, basically Scratch is right with this one, because back when we very first started playing the game, where the whales would compete was basically the arena in terms of fighting each other, and everybody had pretty much the same champions. The only differential between them was gear, and gear pretty much only provided a little bit of difference here and there. Speed was king way back then, so the faster champion would do the turn meter boost. You would speed tune your team. There were no blessings to mess things up. There was no stone skin sets and all of that. So blessings and empowerments really brought in a tremendous power creep from even the spenders, and differentiate the big spenders with the medium spenders, and the krakens really ate up all the whales. All right, so the krakens are the ones that spend
awakening, empowering,
crazy
ascending,
amounts every week.
I can't even remember. I can't remember them all because there's so many. Okay, like there are 1,000 of them now. 2 years ago, we had champions gear. Yes, you still needed to have the meta champions. You still needed to have some decent gear in order to challenge most of the players. But you know what? I used to get screenshots from a lot of people. Scratch, I just beat your defense. Haha, I'm a free-to-play player. Or Scratch, I beat this guy's defense. Or me, I beat this guy who spent 10 times more than I did, you know? And it was a nice feeling to know that you were able to play the game at that level. Well, That's not the case anymore, of course. And right now, if you want to be the top dog in Raid Shadow Legends, and let me just make a different point before I'm gonna give you a couple of other ideas in here. Nobody gives a damn if you are the top dog in Raid Shadow Legends. Not even Platinum do. They're not even capable to make a leaderboard for Platinum Arena Reset. Takes them 5 freaking minutes to create a leaderboard for Platinum Arena Reset to be added to the game every Monday morning. But you know what? Nobody gives a damn. And if Platinum doesn't give a damn, why should somebody else give a damn? And you know what? There's always going to be a bigger dog than you. No matter what.
That's what I've always said with PvP. The fighting for that #1 spot, especially if you do it every week after you get your 1 trophy, I don't understand what the point is to continue on and on and on. Maybe get the most amount of trophies. That's the biggest whale that is trying to do. I think Bobby is the one that is trying to do this right now, but
what you're doing, there's always a bigger dog. And it's not necessarily that
Bobby's
this is the law of life. There's always the next predator, the apex predator. It's just that even if you spend more money than somebody in the game, that person might have much better RNG than you. And you know what? He's the top dog now. He has something that you don't have, and he's better than what you have. So he's the top dog. And then the next top dog comes in, and it goes on like this to the infinite. It's a rat race that will never end. And I gotta say it, I've been caught in this rat race as well, you know, and the sooner you understand this, the better for your own well-being, the better for your wallet as well, you know. And I do want to point out a couple of things which we're going to discuss down in the video, but this is one of the main things that I want to point out, you know. You don't need to be the top dog. You need to kind of like accept the level where you're playing and accept that this mobile gaming industry is pay to win. You're never going to be #1 if you're not spending money. Hell, if you're playing games that they don't require you to spend money in order to be #1, they require time, okay? And you're never going to be #1 if you're not investing the time. It's as simple as that. It's just a different law, a different currency. Time versus money, okay? So if you're playing PUBG Mobile, I've heard people saying, Scratch, you don't need to spend money to be #1. Hell no, but you need to spend time. So if you don't have time, you're not going to be #1. So just accept that you're going to be a casual player. I accepted that I'm not going to be the top dog in the game. And hell, I don't want to be the top dog. I don't even want to get close to the top dog. You know why? Because a top dog in Raid Shadow Legends needs to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, $50K a month to maintain the title of one of the top dogs. We have so many Krakens in this game that our minds cannot comprehend the level of what sort of amounts they're spending, guys. Okay, let me just be honest.
Start from earlier this year. I just feel like I have...
just to quickly drop into that, you would be surprised with the amount of players out there who find the amount that you spent, the maximum amount you spent in a month, they would spend it in a day just because they had the free time to play around and maybe saw a pack was worth it, pulled some voids or something. They wanted to try. There was a summoning event. They wanted to max it out just because there's people out there who do this.
I have to spend, not to progress, but I have to spend just to keep up.
So I did wanted to point this out. This is the game now. This is the game right now. You do not spend to progress. You spend to keep up. Is it worth for us to spend and keep up? No, because this race is never going to end, guys, okay? This is a rat race that will never end. You might think, okay, I'm gonna get my rich kind Taras, that's it, I'm sorted, I don't need nothing else. After they're gonna bring a new champion that will counter my rich kind Taras, and guess what? You're gonna wanna get that champion. After they're gonna bring a new gear set with the Forge Pass, you're gonna wanna get that new set. Then they're gonna introduce a new dungeon that drops new gear sets. You're gonna get that too because that's meta. You're gonna wanna get the Awakening, you're gonna want to get the Soul, you're gonna want to get 4 more copies of that champion to empower him to +4. And this will never end, okay? Whenever you think that you're done, you're not. You're just starting again. That's
the problem with a lot of people. But what I do say when I hear players saying that they're compelled to spend and all that, just don't. Why would you spend in this game? This is not. You're not playing Pokemon. You're not trying to collect all of them. You'll never collect all the heroes in the game. There's not one person in the game right now that has every single champion in the game. Not a single person out there. just because they've just added the mythicals and there's no bloody chance that you be able to get them. Even if you manage to have everything else before that, the mythicals now basically made your account a not 100% completed account. So it's a never-ending thing to chase to complete your account or make the account the strongest one, because then you'll say, oh, you don't have them all at +4, oh, you don't have them all at a +6 awakening. So there's no
That's
point.
how these gacha games work. That's how the gaming industry is in 2023. So that's the reality, okay? And I feel like a lot of people are always in the position where I'm gonna quit. That's it. I'm gonna quit because that's gonna stop me from spending money. And no, you're actually a fool if you think that this will save you money, because you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna stop playing this game and you're gonna move over to the next one. Now in this game, at least you were somewhere in the middle or end game. You're gonna go and start a new game that will get you into it the exact same way Raid Shadow Legends did. And this is the biggest lesson I want to point out right here. Now, I've seen so many big whales, krakens quitting the game, and guess what? Either 2-3 weeks later they say, oh, I want to come back to the game, I don't know what to do, or I started playing this game, Scratch, you wanna cover it? It's an awesome game. It's very similar with Raid. I just dropped 20k in this game already. So this will never make you save money. What you need to understand is that people are playing at different levels. You need to understand your place on the ladder, okay? I know I cannot afford to spend 10k, and my god, even if I would afford to spend 10k, I could do a million things better than spend 10k in a weekend on Raid Shadow Legends. So
yeah,
the
you could spend that to come over to Cyprus.
The game is
we'll go out, have drinks, have food.
What makes you save money. What makes you save money is understanding that you do not need to constantly spend in these genres of games, because it's a rat race that will never end, regardless if the title is Raid Shadow Legends, Infinite Magic Raid, or Magic Dragons, or Awakened Chaos Era. They're all the same cup of tea.
So when the biggest kraken on YouTube out of Raid, right? Like he mentions, there's bigger spenders, of course, out there in the game. But when someone who's dropping that much money on a long-term basis over the course of years, when they say, listen to what he said here, right? He said, I don't spend money anymore to progress. I spend money to keep up. I want to make a larger point on this, but I don't want to hijack the entire reaction here. So let's keep going.
Because I want to compete in arena, I'm not even like looking for finish in #1, because it's not gonna happen.
Like, look at #1, +4, +4, +4, +3, 6-star on everything. Do you want to know how much it costs you to get something like that? You think $100k will get you that? You gotta be extremely lucky to get that with 100.
That is bloody insane. Just looking at the awakenings and the +4s and knowing that MacChan has spent so much and he doesn't have the couple, he doesn't have obviously the awakenings for them, doesn't even have the copies for them. Just understand that maybe an average every 10x you need to pull like 600 to 900 voids, maybe, to actually get the void offered through the 10x.
$10, okay?
And that is like 2,000 easy.
It's just not gonna happen. I don't have these champions.
And you see, that's what you get hooked on. I don't have these champions. I need these champions. I was the fool who was like, I want Hegemon. I need Hegemon. I need Hegemon. Hell, I don't need Hegemon. Right now, I need Yumeko.
He was pulling
do I really need her? I don't. You know what? Am I gonna get #1 if I get the Yumeko? No. Next to that Yumeko, I need 4 more Yumekos. Then I need to purchase all the speed gear and everything else to make sure she's 560 speed. She's 6-star awakened, so purchase all the souls. And is just Yumeko enough? Nah. And I accepted this long time ago. I don't need her. I would love to get her, but she's not gonna do anything for me. He thinks that if he gets Marichka and Taras, it's gonna change something for him. He thinks he's gonna do top 20 again of Arena. No. He needs awakening for them. Then he needs empowerment for them, etc., etc., etc.
A really sad part. I have to spend close to $1,000 a month just to stay in top 20, and I just don't want to do that anymore. And if you guys watch my old Sharpo videos, I just had insanely bad luck.
So that's I'm not flaming him, by the way, because I just realized it sounded a bit like.
Just to interrupt a little bit. If you've ever seen players like MacChan or Boomer or Murder Inc., when they ever did summoning videos, there was a complete I want to say they were just not interested in anything other than the legendary that was in their heads to try and get it. If you've ever seen their summoning videos, they wouldn't get excited anymore about it because of how much money they would be spending on the game and how that was reflected during their pulls. And it wasn't about, oh, I don't want to do reactions when summoning shards. It's because they honestly had no reaction when they were getting a legendary anymore, because they had that legendary dozens of times, literally dozens of times, but not the one that they were looking for.
He's doing that, he's not doing that. No, the point is that any of us doing that is just pointless, okay? And how he mentioned, he spent thousands of dollars on shards recently and he got nothing. So that's to bringing me back to my point. But yes, if you are spending, you can pretty much get out of it with a fat leap, nothing else, you know?
Like, ever since these two were released, I spent a lot of money. And, well, not that much compared to back in, let's say, 2020 or 2021, but I still spent a lot. I probably pulled roughly 700 to 800 void shards after these two were released, and mostly during their 10x. And I just...
So let me just 800 void shards.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Around $3 at a regular price for void
it's
shards.
Not to be honest, it's not a lot for actually trying to hunt for that specific champion, but it's a lot in terms of money.
$2.50 on very good deals, right? So that's a lot of money. And you know what? If you're going in the game, the first thing that you're going to understand is that when you have a 10x, your chances to summon champions are rubbish. 0.5% chance to get a legendary. Then the mercy system kicks in at 200 plus shards. Do you know how many times I opened void shards in this game and I went over 200 with no legendary? It's just crazy. So 800 void shards are nothing. Okay, let me just point that out.
Also spent $2,000 a month. Now, the big difference is, and I've said this so many times here on the channel, and I feel like it's important to always say this, and I don't mean to like, well,
yeah, I mean, Ash does it mostly for the content of summoning shards, reacting to that.
I would not spend, well, I probably would spend around 1/10 or so, 10% of what I spend on this game if I wasn't making content and I wasn't getting sponsorship.
If I wasn't a content creator for Raid, getting that pack that we get every week for being a tier 3 content creator, which is when you have above 8,000 subs on YouTube and certain amount of views per week, that pack alone per month it's valued at about $200. I'm gonna say maybe less so now because I have so many 5-star chickens that those have zero value for me. It's just the energy and gems that we get and the books. I could value them maybe $150 or so. So that keeps my account alive. So I don't need to spend. And the test server access makes me now be able to build some stuff when we have the access. If I want to make a video on a specific champion that is, maybe I want to showcase something really cool that I don't want to spend the money on my main account. So things are much easier now for me to make content compared to at the start when I was slowly building my account. I wanted to showcase something very, very, very specific, like you know, the Blender team, stuff like that. I was building my account still, and yeah,
and all of that stuff, you know, not by player. I'm not sponsored by player or anything like that. I'm talking about, like, you know, my last shard opening video, I had a sponsorship in there, right? That pays for all those shards and more. I wouldn't be making that content unless it was part of my business strategy. You know what I'm saying? And
I wanted to point this out as well, because Ash is making a very good point here. If I wouldn't make content on this game, I wouldn't spend much money at all, actually. Like, I started playing this game free to play for the very first 3 months. And I actually started spending because I got into making content on it.
I remember buying my first pack to celebrate 300 subscribers on YouTube. I bought my first pack, which was €30. And I was feeling a sense of guilt. Because at the time I had my main job and I was getting paid like €1,000 per month, and spending €30, 30 out of 1,000, where I remember 400 was my rent. I had 250 on fuel. After everything in a month, I would have maybe €100 left as disposable income. And I was a professional, but in Cyprus our salaries are low, especially if you're just starting out. And yeah, spending that amount of money, I felt so guilty, especially when I was getting nothing back from YouTube at the time. And I didn't even consider it as an investment. It was just like a celebration for me. Like when you're going out for your birthday, that kind of thing. That's how it felt spending $30, which right now, for me, is just buying another pack. I got desensitized so much with Raid in terms of spending, which is kind of bad if I think about it, you know, more and more. But I'm trying to regulate it, and I haven't spent on Raid. Although, if I'm being honest, I've been playing Watcher of Realms and building another channel for that one. And I've been spending on that, but I've stopped over there as well since I entered their content creator program. And I'll slowly be getting rewards over there. So now I don't, and I have test server access as well now. So again, I don't have that much of an incentive spending anymore on that game. Although I haven't spent not even a tenth.
That's what kind of like
hooked
me on spending more than I was usually doing.
Even
I started streaming, and they started getting me with $5 packs for 5 ancients 3-4 years ago. And small prices like this, and $5, $10, $15, $20, they add up to 2K. And you're gonna be like, my God, I actually spend that much money. I'm an idiot. You can't believe it, you know? But if I wouldn't do content, I would definitely not spend almost nothing on this game, you know? Yes, I would play it, I would enjoy it as free to play, low spender or whatever, and that's it. I don't want to compete to be number one because I accept that my wallet and my mentality will just not allow me to be number one for this, because my mentality will stop me to spend tens of thousands of dollars every month on the game, you know?
I don't think it's, I mean, you could pay thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in this game and still feel like it's rigged against you, kind of like Mac Chan does. And I'm not saying he's saying that. I'm just saying that, like, still feel like you're having bad luck and you're a have-not. If you're spending, you know, over the course of the years, $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends, right? If you're spending $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends and you still don't have a bunch of the key meta champions because of RNG, it should show everybody out there that spending money on this game, sure, you can, you know, you can progress a little bit more, right? You can, right? And I'm not going to tell anybody not to spend a few dollars here or there or whatever on this game, right? It's your money. Do what you want with it, right? I'm not here to have some big boycott or anything like that. But I've said it so many times, and I feel like I need to make videos like this, and this is a perfect video to react to, is it doesn't matter. There is no end of the tunnel. There's nothing that we're aiming for. What's going to happen is you're going to get comfortable spending $10, $20, $100, $1,000 a month. And then it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get more expensive. This dude spent $100,000 on Raid Shadow Legends, give or take. And he still feels like he's a have-not and that he's nowhere near where he needs to be.
If intersecting this point, if you want to ever see my face feeling guilty about spending, try and find my video on my YouTube channel where I got CP from Void Shards. It was me. I spent in a single day, I think I spent $300 in a single day on the game. I bought almost every pack that was on the shop during a 10x on CP, where I had to hit pity, exactly pity, and on the pity I got CP. But I felt the joy and I totally forgot about it the second after. But my God, I remember myself, the guilt of spending, clicking the button, knowing that I've just spent another 50, another 50, and another 50. Buying the pack that I think it was $50 for just a handful of Void Shards, chasing the CP. And I was lucky and got her, but so many more I know haven't got her. I know a person that quit the game, Big Whale, quit the game because every time there was a void pack, he would buy it. Every time he would summon hoping for a CP, the game would not give it to him, and that led him to quitting. But who won in the end? Plarium, because they got out of that one player, they got thousands upon thousands of dollars.
So it's true. The number one lesson in life is like, the more you have, the more you want, right? Like, look at billionaires. They never have enough, right? Yeah. And it's the same in the game. But the only difference here in the game is that they're constantly adding you new carrots to follow, you know? another new carrot, another new carrot. So yes, you're gonna end up feeling like you're a no-have after you spent all that money, which is just crazy, right? Like, think about it. It's the perfect strategy, the perfect business model for a company like this to get money, to get people hooked on it, you know? And a lot of people will never realize that they're hooked on it and is no ending to it, you know? They'll think this is the one. I'm gonna purchase now this shard, I'm gonna get that champion. I was actually talking with a friend the other day. I had no shards for the 1+1 ancients. He had none, and he was like, Scratch, I want to buy shards. I was like, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, because you know you're always getting trash, you know? But for some reason, I see that it's Duchess and Rotos. No, bro, don't do it, you know? And I started showing him different screenshots with bad pools, okay? Because you gotta understand that it's not the way it works, you know? You gotta understand that you're not gonna get Duchess and Rotos from the next pool, because it's not the way. But they get you hooked on it in such a way that you really need to have a very good self-control in order to understand everything that's happening.
That should tell everybody something very important.
Best thing to do is just completely remove your PayPal
like starting
or
this year,
card
I just
from
feel
it.
like keep spending and always get nothing good is kind of waste of money. Right?
It's look.
So that's the number one lesson, guys. Make sure you're putting that thing on repeat. If for whatever
Waste of money is like when somebody says, "Oh, that's a waste of time." Look, like time, when we spend our time and money on something, we value it beforehand, right? When we go out and have a drink and it's expensive, way more expensive than usual, do we regret it after? Do we regret it at that point? A little bit, but we still buy it. And we say, oh, I had a great night out. You enjoyed your time, I guess. Was it a waste of money? Yeah, kind of. For me, it's a waste of money to go out every night and drink. But for you out there, it might not be. It might not be for you out there to go to the movies every weekend instead of watching it at home on your TV. For me, doesn't really matter. I'll watch it at home. And I'll only go to the movies when it's a big movie that I want to see, which is not that often anyway. But wasting time and money, it's on each person. They see it on their own. But when it's stuff like gambling, which is this is affecting you with this game and other gambling in general, it's an addiction, and you have to understand it when you're addicted and stuff. In terms of spending, in terms of trying to chase for the next legendary and the next legendary, and it's better to take a step back always, but it's not easy.
Whatever reason it goes in through a ear and goes out through the other, put that thing on repeat, even at night when you're sleeping, you know, like a hypnotized sort of a thingy, where you're constantly gonna
put it as
remind yourself that spending money is not really gonna get you nothing in here, you know. And this is mainly for people that really love to gamble a lot. Now, I know people, how I mentioned IRL, that they went busted because of it, but I know people in-game that spend money, they have credit cards, and they're basically making loans to purchase all sorts of things in the game. And I'm always like, guys, don't do that, man. It's stupid, you know, like, just don't do it. Just
making loans,
stop from it. And
to play
honestly,
a game,
if you are finding yourself in a situation where you cannot control yourself anymore, not being sarcastic or anything like that, get some help, because you have a gambling addiction that you cannot control, and things like this.
Just to add on top of this, by the way, Max Chan's account, let's say he spent 100,000. I don't know. I'm just saying an easy number. Let's say he spent 100,000. Best case scenario, he gets 10K for it if he tries to sell it. Absolutely best case scenario, he gets 10K, a tenth of what he spent. So whenever you're spending money, don't consider it as an investment. You're not investing in anything. It's like saying I'm investing in a car. When you straight up buy a car, once it rolls out of the lot, it loses value. It's kind of the same thing, but 10 times worse, because this is a digital account.
This can actually ruin your life. If you have a family to take care of, etc., spending all your income on things like this is bad, regardless if it's a Raid Shadow Legends or if it's poker.com or whatever other things you are spending money on. You know, definitely get a bit of help if you are in that situation.
Maybe it's the same
even if he got something good, it would probably still be a waste of money.
For all gacha game, to be honest, I don't play that much gacha game. Mostly, I am a PC gamer.
Hands up, Mac-chan, I'm the same, bro. I never played another gacha game before Raid Shadow Legends. I was actually at work, bored, and I clicked on Raid Shadow Legends and it got me hooked. How I mentioned, the first 3 months I was free to play, and then I...
My story time, my story time. I was playing another gacha game before this. Ha! I beat you both. But I was a PC gamer forever. I played World of Warcraft for a long time. Played League of Legends for even longer. And after that, I had a laptop that was slowly getting old. And I didn't want to play League of Legends anymore. And my phone was at a point where it was better than my laptop. Right? And I was playing this game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but I was free to play. But that was a gacha game, okay? And it's still a gacha game. One of the biggest IP mobile games, Star Wars IP. So intellectual property, like the Star Wars universe. It's a very cool game, but it's a spending game. They would release a new hero every month or so, being stronger than the other. So it was kind of the same thing, but it was a gacha game, although I didn't partake at the time when I was playing it. And then I got addicted to Raid and I quit that Star Wars game. But I got addicted to Raid because I think I saw an ad from a YouTuber I used to watch who does reviews for TV shows and movies. And he said, oh, I used to play Diablo and now this game has taken my attention. This is the most ambitious RPG of 2019. Around that time when I started playing. 2019, that was their quote. Everybody was saying this. It was like a script. They were saying it word by word. And I got into Raid and the rest is history.
I just started spending $5 here and there. Then I started doing content. And guess what? There were a few hundreds every month here and there. So they just add up. You get comfortable, how Ash said as well. And you're going to end up in being in a spot where you're spending too much. And you're, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, like, I'm stupid. Why am I doing this?
But back in the days, I was really into this game because of the graphic and the gacha mechanic. To be honest, hey, it's a game, all right? You're still gonna focus on real life. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the biggest reason why I kind of don't want to play this game for now. Like, if I don't spend money into it, I fall behind. All right. Let's say if I go completely free to play for 2 to 3 months, I can probably go to arena and finish at like top 50. And if I don't spend for another 3 months, I can probably be top 100. I just keep falling behind.
It's not like that either, though. You are falling behind. And you can play free to play, especially if somebody like us, me, him, Ash, stop spending now. I'm not saying we're not left behind. We are left behind a lot. I'm left behind a lot for the last 6-7 months since I literally cut down on spending a lot, you know? And you know what? I still enjoy the game. I still play it, but I play it at my own pace, my own level. And I mentioned, I accept that I'm not going to be number one. And I don't want to be number one. I just want to have fun, play the game, and just relax after work or do whatever if I would be the casual gamer, you know? And how I mentioned, quitting the game, it won't solve your problem. Because your problem is not actually playing the game. Your problem is having self-control and understanding the actual reality, okay? As harsh as this may sound.
So that's something I just don't want to do.
See, the thing is again, my take on this, guys, is that he is still in it psychologically. He's still in the rabbit hole that Plarium wants him to be in, right? Because even his terminology, falling behind what, man? I get what he's saying. Like, practically, he's falling behind the people that are finishing above him in arena, right? But what are we getting for finishing high in arena?
Nothing, Ash. You're getting nothing. You're not even getting a crappy leaderboard that takes 5 minutes for the coder to implement in the game.
Personal satisfaction.
That's why you're getting for finishing first in Platinum Arena, or second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. I wake up every Monday. I do Platinum Arena. Today I place 20. Tomorrow I place 17. Then 30, 40, 50.
Basically, it's the whole of Raid. What's the point after you've won Key Clan Boss, after you won Key Hydra, after you finish the Doom Tower, all rotations, all secret rooms, you finish all of the faction wars? What is the point of finishing the missions, the challenges, what's the point after that? Making a faster team? Making a 100 million team on clan boss, a 200 million key, an infinity team, infinity damage team, making a Hydra 100 million team, a Hydra auto team. What is the point? Everybody finds their satisfaction in the game in their own ways, I think. And that's how they should enjoy the game. Getting first though and spending an increasing amount of money is a game that you cannot win. The only person who wins is
100, depending on my mood as well and how much I actually want to get involved into playing the game. Can I win number one? Possibly. I need a lot of luck to win number one without competing in spending with the Krakens. Don't get me wrong, it's not impossible, it is doable. But it's not very likely to happen very often anyway, you know? The Krakens will still win it and you are getting nothing.
It's like the casino without the payoff. You don't get any money back. There's no falling behind.
No money back, you don't get to see any nice ladies around bringing you drinks. And yeah, that's about it. That's Raid Shadow Legends in a few words.
We're all falling behind. You could argue that the people who are spending more to get ahead of him in the arena are falling behind more because it's costing them more money and they're falling behind in the game of life. You know, you could argue that point of view.
You could argue that car that Machan mentioned he could bought with his account, the money he spent on his account would have been, you know, an actual car.
Probably even better than the other one, right? So, you know, well, let's just listen on.
I don't want my money to be spent in somewhere that it doesn't give me a guaranteed return. Like if they just put a price tag on these two champions.
The words that he chose here, Machan, I think a guaranteed return. A guaranteed return would eliminate the randomness factor which Plarium has thrived on, which is the you want to think about raid, and whenever you see RNG in a game, so randomness in a game, so sheep happening in arena, when you see the wicked in the dungeons, when you see that 3% chance to get resisted when you have 1,000 accuracy, that is RNG. That is the 0 on the roulette wheel. Why is the 0 there? The 0 is there for the house to win and have an edge against you, and they always win because of that.
Yes, let's say $100. Sorry, let's say $1,000 for one champion. I would do it. All right, I would.
So that's something that will never happen because he spends 20, 30, 40,000 trying to get those champions, or not him necessarily, but other person. And Plarium knows that. They're not stupid. They're not gonna do it.
But I just don't want to spend my money gambling anymore.
I wonder if Plarium's listening to this right now, which they are. I wonder how they feel about that sentence. If you charge me $1,000 for this champion, I would do it. Of course, they would never do that because the headlines would be charging $1,000 for a champion. How ridiculous is that? But you heard.
It's not even about the headlines, Ash. It's about how much money they're making out of.
It's because when you set a price tag on something like $1,000, the players will think, oh, it's $1,000 now. It means it can drop. So you immediately place the idea to people who don't want to spend that 1,000 that, oh, this price will drop. And people who are tempted will say, oh, this price will drop. So immediately causes them to not be tempted. But if you place it in front of their head, like a carrot on a stick, right? And say, for $3, which you buy one void, you could possibly pick up Taras, who is one of the best, if not the best, damage dealer currently in the game.
Feeding from the addictions, basically, you know, and knowing that the Mera champion, the Mera champion, the Mera champion, I want her, I want her, I want her, I need her, I need her, I need her. No, you don't.
Heard the man. He spent thousands trying to get one champion. He walked away with nothing.
Anymore. I am kind of tired of it, and I don't plan on playing any other gacha game for now. I'm open to it, to be honest, but probably taking a break from gacha game for now. And the second reason is there's just not much new content, and all the content being released, I just don't feel like I enjoy it that much.
Mac-chan, you're not enjoying it that much, my brother, because there is no content. There's just power creep. Awake.
Its power creep is the Iron Twins, which is basically Awakening power creep. It's Sand Devil, which is basically Gear Ascending power creep. It's the Phantom Shogun, which is basically Accessory Ascension power creep. every item that you need for every 1 6-star ascension on a piece of gear, that's 1,000 energy, which is basically 800 energy, which is the energy you get as free to play every single day. All of it, all of your energy through normal region, plus the refreshes, plus the advanced quest, plus everything. So 1 item per day. And let's say you have 1,000 items all over your account. Of course, not all of them will need that, but that's 1 million energy, right? Or 800,000 energy. So
awakening, ascending, empowerment. What is the content? What content we got recently that's actual content? You got a new Doom Tower rotation? No. You got a new hard mode faction wars? No. You got new campaign? No. You got new clan boss? Not really. You got Hydra ages ago, which again, that was another sort of mechanic of.
I will say that the Doom Tower is the best thing in Raid. By far, the Doom Tower is the most challenging and rewarding at the same time to players, in the sense of there's multiple different encounters and there are different bosses. Even the waves are difficult. The secret rooms are difficult. That was peak Raid Shadow Legends, I would say. And Hydra, with all its bugs and things, the RNG within it is not peak Raid Shadow Legends, I'm gonna say. And it's proven even with the bugs that it currently has, where, for example, well, bugs or the intended interaction, like now that Hydra works. So yeah,
making people to spend money. Six champions in a team, you cannot use them in the second team. In the third team, 18 champions. So that again was a way of making money by making people to build multiple teams, basically, you know. So there is no actual content added to the game in quite a while, unfortunately, you know, and that's the sad truth. And now with the addition of the new primal shards, you know, is I set my expectations so low, guys, with the primal quartz or whatever the heck they're called, primal quartz in the Hydra Clash, like extremely low expectations. Okay, I said, okay, maybe at minimum, at maximum, they're gonna give us 1 summon a week. Then I go into the Hydra Clash, I go and click on the chest, and you're like not even getting 1 every 2 weeks. If you're unlucky, you're getting, you need 4 weeks if you're unlucky, because you're getting 30, 30, 30, and then again whatever you're getting after. So 1 month for 1 summon is mind-blowing, you know. Like I was not expecting that whatsoever. But the last point, guys, to end it here, because I feel like I've been going on for quite a while, and I know I haven't reacted that much to the content. I don't want to flame Chan, because that was not what I was trying to do. I just kind of pointed out things, and maybe it's just the way I'm talking usually and the way I'm expressing myself. But the last point that Ash makes here as well, that's the main reason why I wanted to watch this video directly, but I'm going to link both of the videos in the comments, Ash's video and Mac Chan's, if you want to watch them in full. You don't need to spend to enjoy the game. You need to accept it and play it at your own level.
Yeah, just to close off on what Scratch was saying, I've mentioned it in my video. Yesterday, right? With the primal shards and how everything works within Raid. You don't need to spend. The primal shards will be there months from now. They'll do events. They'll make these cheaper. They'll give us somehow to get these for free. I'm hoping the new PvE content added doesn't require significant spending in order to actually compete there. Like I'm even saving these right now. I'm saving my crest area bonuses, because the new content that might be added might be aligned here below Demon Lord, if it's like a new clan boss. And if I save enough of these, maybe I'll be able to participate in that new content that they'll add maybe before the end of the year, and actually do good without needing to spend. And my spending, as I said, is the lowest it has been for a long time. I haven't even bought anything, not even the daily gem pack, which honestly I should be buying this just to slowly stack up gems on my account, just so I can have them, because this is the best value for money. But then $10, I shouldn't even be debating. I should be buying it. But I set it as a principle for now, at least, to not give them any money. I've given them enough over the years. It's not like an act of being above spenders or anything. I spend it on Watch of Realms. I'm being honest here. Anyway, guys, this was my video. A long video. I hope I didn't tire you. If you thought this was a negative take by me, if you like this sort of reaction, let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts. I think this is good that these videos are out. And even my reaction made me reflect on myself a little bit, because I remembered stuff like the first time I ever spent money, like the time I spent money for getting CP, which was very mentally intense there, because it was the first time in a long time. And for me to remember it, it means it impacted my mind at the time, because other times that I've spent, I don't remember them. But that specific day, I remember, just going back at it again now in my head, I remember looking at the pack that I would never buy for Voids and clicking buy and then clicking again because it's a purchase 5 limit. And I bought it 3 times out of 5 or something, or 4 times. I bought it because I was trying to hit pity, the mercy system on Voids, and I wasn't hitting it. And I think I hit 210 Voids in total. I was looking at my RSL helper to actually get the legendary, and that was CP, luckily, because I don't know how bad I would feel if that wasn't CP, but that was just the luck within the game. And CP changed my account the same way that I would feel Max Chan's account would have felt different if he had Taras, if he had Marichka, if he had Harima, right? And even today I pulled Sacreds and I got these 3 champions. The only reason I felt a lot of excitement because of Kayoko, because that opened up my faction Guardians to get the final bonus, the plus 10 speed, which is insane for my Yumiko. The other 2 I have 6 times. I have 3 times Arrow and 5 times Bloodgorge. 6 times is my Nethro. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I appreciate all of you guys. You're the community we need to keep on going. I don't keep on going because of Platinum. I keep on going because I have built a community, I feel like, that supports me both through watching my videos but also commenting, reacting. This raid community is the best thing that raid has, and they often neglect it, right? And they only appreciate it when they want to promote, you know, this, right? When they should be doing more, honestly. But anyway, thank you all. I'll see you in the next one.